Do you know what your YouTube and social media goals are for this year? In this video, I've got 3 big tips to help you have your best year ever building your brand online coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media TV, helping you go further, faster in media. And on this channel, we typically do video gear reviews, tech gear reviews, but then also strategy videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So hey, it is a brand new year and it's a great time to be setting goals, I think, for your business, for your social media, for your YouTube channel, and just for your overall brand online. And I think I have a few real tools and kind of some concepts that will help you really have the best year ever building your brand. Tony Robbins says that setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. And so I think that goal setting can be so powerful, and that sometimes we don't realize the power of that by just simply saying, you know, this is where our subscribers are now and this is where I'd like them to be in a certain amount of time. It motivates us. It gives us clarity. It gives us direction. It puts a pin drop on the map to know where we are and where we want to go. And there's some great goal setting frameworks out there like SMART goals, dumb goals, all kinds of different things. But I want to specifically speak to you content creators, right? People that are part of this community. You're trying to build your business, build your brand, build your YouTube channel. And I think there's some specific things that are really powerful if your goal is specifically building an online brand. And so the first thing is to kind of take from those SMART goals a little bit and actually set some specific goals for your online channels. I think it's important. How many followers do you have right now? And how many do you want by the end of the year? You know, it lets you know how many you need per month and even per day. And so what's your current subscriber goals? You know, write that down. What are your current, maybe what other platforms do you care about? And under this, I think there's 4 big areas to really specifically set. The first one, subscribers, and that'd just be, or followers across the board. I don't think you need followers necessarily on every platform, but if you're heavily using Instagram, what are your growth goals for that channel? I think the second thing is traffic. And what I mean by that is hopefully social media for you is not a means to an end in and of itself. Social media typically is best used when it's a bridge to your website or to your products or to, your email list or something like that. And so just because you have social media followers doesn't mean you're getting views. It doesn't mean that you're getting, traffic to your website or people are signing up to be on an insider's list or something. And so what are your traffic goals? And so maybe your website or even your current views per month. In fact, if you're making money off YouTube ads, you're not making money off subscribers. It's only if you're actually getting views. And so in internet marketing, it's usually called traffic. What are your traffic goals? I think the third one would be your email list. And maybe you don't have an email list. I think you should. I think everybody who's building a brand online or any kind of business needs an email list. And the reason why is, YouTube could go away tomorrow. And then we're like, how are we going to stay in touch? We have a certain number of subscribers here on Think Media TV, but if the YouTube algorithm changes and those subscribers aren't even seeing your content, well, now you're in trouble. And any social media platform could change. But typically an email list is your chance to stay connected, which is a good reason if you're not on the Think Media TV email list to get on it so that you can always get that insider information. No matter what happens, we can stay connected. And then I think the fourth one is income goals. And so what are your income goals specifically from building your online brand? Maybe, it's a side hustle right now. It's a part-time thing. Maybe you made $50 this last year online. And so this next year, you're like, okay, this is what my next goal is. I think it's, at the end of the day, I'm passionate about helping people not just build their influence, but also their income, because otherwise you can't fund doing what you love. You know what it is to have side hustle and to be grinding and so on and so forth. So I think it is important to be setting goals specifically for growing your income so that you can, sustain the vision. And the reality is this, that what gets measured gets improved. And so if you've never really set goals like this before, when you just put your attention on daily growth and just the daily actions, it's amazing that things actually begin to grow more because what gets measured gets improved. And I think these numbers are so important. That's why SMART goals is such a good framework, because you want the goals to be specific. You want them to actually be measurable. attainable, makes them kind of realistic, means that they're, within reach. But there's something so powerful about putting it on paper and writing down, this is my subscriber goal, this is my follower goal, this is what I would love to shoot for income-wise, this is what I'd love to shoot for how much traffic or how many views we're getting per week or per month, things like that. So then the second thing to really write down, and this is a great time, it's kind of a workshop, right? To grab however you take notes, is actually the actions required to then actually reach those goals. And so this is kind of moving from goal setting into actual planning. But what I think is important here is you start thinking, okay, so if I'm at 200 subscribers and I want to grow to 1,000 subscribers, based on my current rate of growth on the actions, maybe posted one video a week, how much do I need to post this next year to be at least staying on the same trajectory, assuming some momentum will happen and some other things? What are the actions that I need to take? And for me, I'll give you a couple just specifics. When it really comes to building your brand online, I think you need a content calendar. Your content is the biggest needle mover without question for building a brand online. Content is king. It doesn't matter if you have even a good website, or even your channel looks cool. If you're not pumping out videos, your channel's not going to grow. If you want to grow an Instagram account, you have to post posts, pictures on Instagram, right? Actual content. And then the quality of that content is going to determine success. And so having a content calendar, and so maybe that's saying, all right, how many videos per week are you going to do? For me, a weekly newsletter. And I'm not just thinking about Think Media TV, we think about video influencers. So we want to try to send out at least one newsletter per week. We want to do this next year at least 2 videos per week on Think Media TV. Maybe we'll go more than that, but that's like our baseline. I want to do a weekly live stream on Facebook Live. These are kind of like the content pillars that you want to be serving your audience with. And so what are those? And for this, I actually want to bring up something that at this point could actually really blow up, I think, your next year and have it be your best year ever. And it's something called the 10X rule. I can't recommend this book enough. Grant Cardone wrote it. I'll link it up in the YouTube description if you want to check it out. But actually kind of summing up the book, it goes deeper. But the general principle of the 10X rule is you take your goals that you have and you actually multiply them by 10. And at first you're like, whoa, that just kind of like broke my thinking. And that's the point. It's to stretch your thinking to like a whole nother level. So if we were using that analogy of you're at 200 subscribers and you want to grow to 1,000 by the end of the year, well then instead of 1,000, you'd actually then say the new 10X goal is 10,000. And the cool thing about that is what it then does is under this number 2, you set the goals. Number 2, you figure out the actions and you figure out the plan. If you go, okay, 1 video a week, and based on my current rate of growth, I'll hit 1,000. Well, then what actions would I need to go to 10,000? And what are the things I can control that would do that? So what if you go, what if I did 3 videos a week? Like, what if I really got focused and got crazily disciplined and thought, okay, I know this will produce this. So if I just 10X my behaviors, I 10X my actions to actually map that shows that I'm serious about growing that goal. If I, want to do 1 Facebook Live a week, what would happen if I did 3 Facebook at different times? Maybe connecting with certain people on the weekend, connecting with certain people during the week. What would happen if you 10X'd your traffic, your followers, your income goals? And then it changes your thinking and then your actions. And so the second thing, set your goals and the actions that you need to reach them, a content calendar. Also set some learning goals. What are the things that you need to learn this next year? I think it's important to map those out. The struggle is real for us as content creators and people that are building brands online. There is 7 million things to learn, right? Exaggeration, but you're like, man, I need to learn video editing and graphic design and how do you make thumbnails and how do you write copy in emails? How do you write emails well? And how do you communicate on camera? And how do you level up your confidence? And how do you, there's so many different areas of these things to learn. And how do you learn Facebook? And what are the nuances of Facebook Live? And what are all these types of different things? I think it's important to have a PDP, a personal development plan, and not to think about the 100 things that you want to learn, but what are the biggest things that you want to grow in that would specifically move the needle for growing your brand online. And then thinking about what are the best ways to learn those things? So what live events do you want to go to this next year? Or what online events do you want to attend this next year? What books could you order and read on the topic? What online courses or education could you invest in that would be related to developing personally that's going to directly affect your online brand? Maybe you're trying to learn Facebook ads. Maybe you're trying to learn, the nuances of Twitter. All these different things. There's always more to learn for us. I think to be lifelong leaders, we need to be lifelong learners. And so thinking about your PDP for this next year, and then also even gear goals. It could break down practically, if I want to level up my content this next year, that's what we're here. So definitely make sure you subscribe to Think Media TV, because we want to help you figure out the cameras, the lighting, the microphones, so that your content, can come across in the best way possible. And so maybe you can't do it right now, but a year is a long time, and never get overwhelmed in this goal setting phase. I've heard it said that most in the goal setting phase, most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but they underestimate what they can do in an entire year. And so, giving yourself some patience and some room to set some gear goals. What kind of set do I want to build? What kind of brand do I want? What should my photography look like? The aesthetic, the color, the video quality, all those types of things. What are some, maybe you can't do it right now, but what are your gear goals for leveling up the look, the feel, the style of your brand this next year? So number one, get all your goals for your social media channels, your followers, your income, your traffic. Number two, set your goals for the actions that it will take and the actual kind of plan. Like, this is my content calendar, at least. And keep in mind, like, this can be really rough. I do it in this journal. I like to do it handwritten, gives me some time to reflect. You can just, pencil down some numbers. I don't think sometimes perfectionism, like trying to make how it all looks right and what's the right number, like just get it down on paper, like just get in the process, just get the ideas flowing. And so write down those actions. What are your gear goals? What kind of personal development goals? What kind of, things like that. And then number three, set goals for the things that you can influence, but you can't control. And so what I mean is, you can control how many videos you post a week. The cool thing about the world we live in is that nobody is stopping you from building your brand online. You need no permission from any TV network. You need no permission from a publisher these days to put out your ebook. You don't need permission from anybody. Like, the world playing field has been leveled, and it's like a complete meritocracy for anybody to put their content online and to build their brand. And posting videos and things like that are 100% up to you. However, there are needle movers, right, that are also, they're beyond your control. You'd like them to happen, but you can't say they will they will or they won't. And I think some of those things include, who do you want to collaborate with? That could be a dream list of who you would want to collaborate with on your YouTube channel, or even, if you're an Instagram influencer, and you were to collaborate with another influencer, right? Both channels grow whenever you do collaborations. What maybe brands do you want to work with? And so you can influence those things. You can position yourself, you can reach out, you can ask, but you can't control them. But I still think those are good goals to have. And so we have a running list. If you have an interview channel or a podcast or something, like our channel Video Influencers, it's who do you want to interview? We think that we have a good shot of interviewing some of the people on that list. Not everybody is going to say yes or even going to reply, but we set those goals because those types of things. Collaborations are huge for building your brand online. Guest posting on blogs. What channel would you want to be featured on? What blog would you want to contribute to? A huge way to get exposure to already established audiences. What blogs would you love to guest post on? Or what channels would you love to guest video post on? And how could you nurture and develop those relationships? And then, one of my personal goals is I want to be on 100 podcasts, because I actually like longer form content like that. And I love listening to podcasts. So this next year, I personally want to be on 100 podcasts. And so number one, that's kind of a 10x goal, right? 10 would be like realistic. 100 would be like, whoa, that seems like a lot. And if I hit, though, the cool thing about the 10x rule is I only hit 87 podcasts, by December of the, that's still really, really good, right? So those behaviors of putting that effort, putting it out there, making it specific, making it measurable. And so that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. So what are some of those intangible things that could build your brand, biz dev type of things that you can definitely influence them, but you can't control them? So what I think it's so important is to put a lot more weight on the thing you can control, your content, the quality of your content, the stuff you're putting out. You don't need anybody's permission to do that. But then also having, a few goals that it'd be cool if a few of those things happen. If they all happen, I'm not sure. What's your dream list? And then you start taking actions along those things. And so I hope that this video was valuable to you. And actually, if you're interested in learning more specifically about YouTube, I believe that YouTube is still the number one. It is the number one video platform online. I still think it is an amazing, amazing place to build your brand, to build your influence. And I don't think it's too crowded. I don't think it's too late to start, no matter where you are when it comes to YouTube. But specifically, we're putting together a brand new webinar training, and you can register for free. It's a workshop, 45 minutes of content, and you can register at learnyoutubetoday.com if you would like to dive more into some specifics about how do you strategically build your influence with YouTube. So register for that webinar. It's coming up soon. Excited to see you on there. Question of the day: what is your favorite goal setting tip, or what is one of your goals for this next year? Let me know in the comment section below. And remember that some of the best feedback and insights come from you, the Think Media TV community. So definitely connect with everybody in the comment section. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. Hit the like button if this video was valuable, and share it with somebody who is also in that goal setting mindset right now. And definitely register for the webinar if you specifically want to 10x your YouTube channel this year. Not just your goals, but really focus on YouTube and get results there. You definitely want to be a part. Free online workshop, learnyoutubetoday.com. Until next time, Think Media TV is helping you go further, faster in media. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.